You know why narcissists can't be alone? It's because they lack a stable internal sense of self worth and they rely entirely on external attention. Without people to validate them, admire them, even fear them, their grandiose facade collapses, forcing them to confront a deeper inner emptiness and buried shame. Which brings me to Kevin Roberts, president of the Heritage Foundation, one of the chief architects behind Project 2025. He's what I like to call a quintessential megalomaniac, someone obsessed with power, with control, with reshaping society according to his singular worldview. And check this out. Kevin has a PhD in history with a concentration in African American history. Not economics, not political science, African American history. Which means before helping engineer policies that are actively dismantling civil rights for people of color, Black people, he studied us first, extensively. This man sat with the archives. He read the records. He traced the patterns. Like a pro athlete, he studied the film. And let me unpack what his own research revealed. Black people survive through community, through extended kinship networks, through collective economics, through matrifocal structures, which means women are not lateral to our survival. We are the linchpin. We are the stabilizers, the organizers, the anchors, the playmakers on those highlight reels. Without us, the whole operation collapses. Black women stabilize the culture. So suddenly, over 300,000 Black women lost their jobs in a single year. And that number doubled in 2026. Federal programs that once supported Black and brown communities systematically dismantled. Government funding stripped. DEI gone. Coincidence? Of course not. They study the film. See, the more you understand your opponent's source of power, the more you can disrupt it. You don't attack randomly. You attack strategically and structurally. You don't just go after the obvious star athlete. You go after the entire system that produces them. Let me start to bring this home for y'all. One of the most fascinating stories in the Bible is the relationship between David and Saul. Saul spent the better part of his reign trying to kill David. David had every opportunity to kill Saul. You know why he didn't? Because he was going to be king anyway. Saul was the people's king, but David was God's chosen king. So really, in essence, Saul wasn't fighting against David. He was fighting against the will of God. And that's a fight you will never win. And the crazy part is, Saul had everything. He had the title, he had the position, he had public approval. The Bible says there was not a more handsome man than he among the sons of Israel. He was head and shoulders above other men. You got all that and you chasing down a little shepherd boy. See, David carried something Saul didn't. David had that oil. And Saul knew it. And instead of becoming better, Saul became bitter. And that bitterness led to his own demise. Saul fell on his own sword during a battle against the Philistines at Mount Gilboa to avoid being captured and tortured by his enemies. Your boy killed himself. See, the grave you dig for others is the one you gonna be buried in. That's why Booker T. Washington said, you cannot hold a man down without staying down with him. Listen, you can't stop a people who have survived slavery, Jim Crow, segregation, redlining, black codes, mass incarceration, voter suppression, economic exclusion. You just can't. We weren't selected by people. We were chosen by God. We ain't going nowhere. Okay? We have the most powerful DNA on the planet. So listen, y'all can keep studying the film because we're going to keep running the play.